This Boxx the Hungry Genius, and I'm here with Reclamation and Restoration. And I'm just going to give a little bit of input today on what I think can make the community better and we can build better leaders. Well, I've been impacted in different ways in my life. When I first started doing music, my community around me, those things is what I rapped about, whether it was a lot of negativity. So I was talking about the experiences I seen in my neighborhood. And then as I evolved as a young man, then my music got to get more mature because I got outside of my environment and I just started, evolving as a person. But the environment definitely, it took a toll on my first project because I was rapping about a lot of negative things in the beginning. That's such a vague question. We can go to the financial literacy side, then we can go to the spirituality side with God, on the financial side, in the Black community, African American community, the poverty communities, is we're not taught about how to handle money, how to invest, how to save money. So therefore, each family, the average family, starting off with lack, and then those lack of funds turns into the kids going to do illegal things to keep the lights on in the household. Then you have the single moms, and then from there it's just a domino effect. And then outside of that, it's, the kids are not being taught about God, and they're not getting poured into, told that they're leaders, not followers, and they're not getting shown examples of that even in their own house. The average child not even getting told, I'm proud of you in the home. So you mix that child not getting told, I'm proud of you, their self-esteem low, lack of finances in the house. They don't even know how to pray to God if God exists, and you put that into one pot, you get what you see now.
And what is it from your perspective that you see? A lot of times we look at the news and we see the stats and everything like that, but someone who is maneuvering through the music industry and business and different outlets here in Baton Rouge, what is your perspective of what you're seeing in the community?
I see kids emulating what they see, and I don't have to call out any rappers' names from our city, but they emulate what they're hearing, in their age bracket. A lot of the killings now, they're getting younger and younger, so when I was growing up, people that got killed, it usually was by older people killing older people. You have younger adults killing older people and killing each other. So what I'm seeing as I'm maneuvering in the trenches is a lot of followers, a lot of following going on. They don't even know why they're rapping about what they're rapping about if they are doing music. If they're not doing music, they don't know why they dressing a certain way, why they sagging their pants, why they talking a certain way. So it's like, everybody is following everybody. Nobody's stepping up saying, hey man, we don't need to be doing this.
So in our project, Ready for Life, which is the community violence intervention and prevention program here, we have mentors. And the mentors that we have, they are very dedicated and they're very passionate about helping the young men that do come into this project. So how important do you think a mentorship like this is to the community, to those people that you see doing these things?
It's very important. When I first walked in here, the first thing that caught my attention, y'all told me, was the age bracket was from 18 to 24. And I feel like that was nothing but God, because that was the time I needed a mentor. I lost my grandfather at 17, and he was my father figure. My dad was in and out the streets and on and off drugs. And for those years right there, I did a lot of things I didn't have any business. The great thing that came out of that, I created my son. But, outside of me being a involved father, between 18 and 24, I didn't have any male energy around me telling me what's right, what's wrong. I got a mentor around 25 years old, and then that's when I started my evolution process, So I needed a mentor between those years.
So mentorship and community is very important, clearly.
Mm-hmm.
When you think of community, what are some things that our community can do to help just become aware of any type of strategy or intervention to stop the violence or reduce the violence in the city?
Man, I don't have a definite answer, but I do feel like the people that matter in the community, the influencers, they have to be more involved. it's good when we show up at these different events that can help the community, but if the people that's influencing a lot of the violence behind the scenes, or the people that have the influence to say chill out, if they're not at these events, and if the people are not sitting down with them and talking to them, then what happens is it's a lot of smoke and mirrors. You get people throwing events, back to school events, stop the violence rallies, but the people that need to be there and the people that need to be talked to are not there. So whether that's going to talk to the neighborhood drug dealer, whether that's going to talk to the former street guys that are considered OGs in the neighborhood, seeing can they come out and talk? The people that can really make a change, not the surface area people, because we all can go get sponsorships and go to these parks and go to these events, but when you show up there most of the time, the people that could really make a true change and stop the violence, they not there.
I would consider yourself to be an influencer, and
I appreciate that.
Your music has definitely evolved. What are some of your goals now that kind of focus on the mentorship part of, just seeing different young men go through certain things, whether you're seeing it or whether, you're experiencing it yourself? Like, what are some ways that you yourself are becoming a better influence in the city?
I'm just showing up and I'm staying true to myself. But I'm making myself accessible, So I mentor a lot of artists behind the scenes, not necessarily kids, but artists that most of these kids want to do music, So I let God use me through my mentorship in the music, because a lot of artists don't know the business, but also I let them know, hey man, I heard you make this song about killing and da 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 da, but how far will that record get you if you're trying to really go into a certain area? Can people sponsor that? So I start working on their mind first, and I try to still let them be true to them, but I let them know, hey man, there's certain doors that can open for you when you create a certain type of music. But when I move around in the community, it's like my music hat allows people to come to me and they see me dressed like this and they know where I come from, and it makes them want to change. So they like, man, how do I dress like that? How do I talk like that? Man, teach me about life insurance, teach me about the music business. So I kind of just let who I am. I try to be the change that I want to see in others, and usually it works in my favor. So I don't really have to go champion on the block. I won't change. People see the change in me, and then they start to ask me, how do they start the process,
And what would you say to anyone who's watching, whether they be like a potential mentor, potential mentee, somebody who may want to come to our community forums, which we have every fourth Tuesday of the month?
Okay.
What would you say to them who are watching, who maybe want to get involved in this project?
If you're a mentee, I would tell them to definitely come get involved with this. And the reason why is because I needed this when I was 18. And maybe things would have turned out a little bit different. Maybe I wouldn't have got expelled from school twice and put my mama through the things I put her through before I got back on the right path. So if it's a mentee out there that's looking at this, that, maybe don't understand what's going on in their life. I was numb for a few years. Come to this without a preconceived notion and just see if it works. See if you might meet a mentor that can meet you where you at. Nobody never asked me when I was going through what I was going through, how did I feel? And that was a simple question that nobody asked. So sometimes a mentor might say, hey man, I feel where you've been, I know where you're at, and this is how I figured it out. So that's for a mentee. For a mentor, I'm sure if someone is a mentor or they have the ability, they have a story like me or even a greater story, there's mentees that need us. They need our stories. They need people that's going to meet them where they at. They don't need anybody fussing at them. They need people holding their hand and hearing them out and trying to not be across the table from them, but be on the same side of the table, if that makes sense. So I think the mentorship is important. If you're a mentor or if you see yourself as someone that can be a mentor, this is the place you need to come in as a mentee. If you just need help and you don't know what direction you need to go in, I think this is a start. Well, this Boxx the Hungry Genius, I want to say thank you to Reclamation and Restoration Ministries, but most importantly, I think this program is going to be a huge deal, not only right now, but in the future. the neighborhood, the community. We need things like this, and we need people that's serious about it, not people that just want to come in it for a look, or people that's gonna stick their toe in it. You know, we need people that really care about the kids, care about the community, and also we need kids that want to come to this, that actually want to do something different with their life. You know, so I think that this program is gonna be big, it's gonna be life changing, and I think that it's needed, and the favor of God is on it, so it's only gonna go up.